Welcome to Pinnacle Performance Company's Fishbowl Friday with Pinnacle co-founder and COO G. Riley Mills and master instructor and editorial director Brad Lawrence.
Welcome to Fishbowl Fridays. I'm Brad. This is Gary. What are we doing?
So welcome, everybody. For those of you who don't know Fishbowl Fridays, we got a fishbowl. We got a bunch of questions. We're going to answer one of them and then send you off into your weekend. Ready to go?
I'm excited.
All right, here we go. Here is this Friday's question. What if I am asked a question and I don't know the answer? That's fair. That's a fair question. Well,
Yeah.
I guess my question would be, why don't you know the answer?
Why don't you know it? Yeah.
That would be the first question.
Yeah. Are you not prepared?
Yeah.
Or do you need time to come up with the answer? You just don't have it on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah, so if you're not prepared, that's
on
on you. That's a big problem. And you're probably going to go down in flames and it'll be your fault. But if it's a question that's out of scope, that's, one of the things we've talked about since the beginning of Pinnacle is the idea that relax because you are only responsible for the information that you are there to present. As long as you're prepared with that information, if a question comes that's out of scope or out of left field, you don't know the answer, it's okay.
Definitely.
But preparation is key.
Yeah, and I think as long as you say something like, I don't want to give you the wrong answer, I will get you that answer, give them a timetable for when you will get it to them, I think you're totally fine.
Yeah, so if you're not prepared, it's your fault. If it's a question that's out of scope, as Brad said, that's perfect. It's totally acceptable, totally fine to say, you know what? Excellent question. I don't actually have that information because it wasn't part of this presentation, but I can get it to you. Can I get it to you in a week? Would that be adequate?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Totally. Yeah. And I think if it's a matter of, I need a few seconds to think, I have the answer, it's rolling around in here, I just got to get it to the tip of my tongue. Feigning the need for clarification.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So give an example of that.
You know exactly what they're asking, but
Right.
I want to make sure I understand
Right.
why you're asking this. Can you tell me a little bit about what's motivating
Tell me
this question?
more.
Tell me more. Yeah, that's always great. Get them, and then while they're talking, you're thinking about what you're going to say when you get the football back.
Yeah.
I think that's an option. What are some other connector statements? Phrases like...
Yes, connector statement. Let's tell everybody what that is.
I'm sure we all use these, but... I think oftentimes people overuse the same one. I mean, if everything's a great question, that's a great question. That's a great question. It starts to sound cliche and trite. So I would suggest have a rotation in your back pocket. Thank you so much for asking that. That's a great question. I'd love to answer that.
It's not the first time I've heard that question.
Perfect,
Thanks for asking. Those
so
are good.
rotate those around so you've got some different options.
Yeah, a connector statement connects your answer to their question. Connects, and it buys you a little bit of time to figure out, how am I going to answer this?
Yeah.
How about this? Deflect to an expert. Let's say there's an expert in the room who knows the answer to that question that's out of scope. If you're positive they can answer it, then you can turn to Marjorie. I know you worked on this exact report, this exact project that they're asking about. Can you shed any light on this?
Don't hang them out to dry.
Don't hang them out to dry. Marjorie will she'll come back and be not very happy if she's put on the spot and she doesn't know the answer. What else anything else we didn't
I
hit?
think also audience interaction can help buy time too.
Yes.
So, Gary, I love that question. But before I give my answer, I know some of the rest of you have had a very similar experience. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this before I give mine. Obviously, you can't do all of these all the time, but it's about having a toolkit of options available to you so you can select the right stall tactic without looking like you're stalling.
And adult learners, if you're speaking or presenting to adults in a corporate setting, they love to engage and give their 2 cents, and they love to make it more of a dialogue versus a monologue. So engage your audience. Let's talk about, before I answer it, let's hear what everybody out here has to say and get a couple thoughts, and then gives you a chance to formulate your ideas.
Yeah.
Cool. So that is how you answer a question when you don't know the answer. There's your Fishbowl Friday, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
If you'd like to submit a question for the Fishbowl, drop us an email at fishbowl@pinper.com. If you'd like to learn more about Pinnacle Performance Company, email us at info@pinper.com. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and tell your friends. See you next week.